Welcome to your practice today. We're going to start in a wide-legged child's pose. So bring your big toes together to touch, take your knees as wide as your mat, and then sink your sit bones towards your heels as you walk your hands forward and let your forehead come to rest on the earth. Take a moment here to draw the focus inward towards the breath. Noticing the quality of your breath here. And then begin to deepen the breath, trying to match the inhales with the same length for the exhales. And then let's take a big breath in here together through the nose. And a full breath out. Good. Come to tabletop pose here. Toes can be tucked or untucked. The shoulders come over top of the wrists, and then we'll start to arch the spine here, lifting the chest and the gaze, and then gently rounding, tucking chin into chest. And then inhale, let the belly lower as the heart lifts, arching, breath comes in. And then gently rounding the spine as you breathe out. Cow pose with the inhale. And cat pose as you exhale. And just starting to find a rhythm here with your breath. And that ujjayi breath can turn on that slight restriction of the whisper muscles at the back of your throat, creating that wind tunnel sound or that Darth Vader sound. And then keep moving here, but bring your fingertips to face each other. Palms stay flat and the bony parts of the elbows will face outward. And you're just going to slide from side to side with the hips here, shifting the weight in and out. And then bring yourself back to center. Tuck your toes under. Press your palms down and then hover your knees an inch off of the mat. A nice flat back here, pull your belly in towards your spine, and then energetically press your hands down and back towards your feet and your feet towards your hands. Lower your knees down. Just let the sit bones come to the heels, and then gently roll out your wrists in one direction. And then rolling them into the other direction. And then reach your hands forward once again, palms down to the mat. Tuck the toes under and hover the knees an inch off of the floor. Good. Feel that fire, that prana start to build, and then step your right foot to the back of the mat and then your left, landing in plank pose. Gently press your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Slide forward to plank pose with that inhale, and then back to down dog as you exhale. 2 more like that. Plank. And then down dog. And then gently start to walk your feet towards your hands. Find the front of the mat, forward fold, Uttanasana. Bend your knees as much as you need to here to get your belly to rest on your thighs. It might feel nice to grab opposite elbows, maybe sway from side to side. Let your hands fall down towards the floor, and then gently roll yourself up to stand 1 vertebrae at a time. The head and the neck be the last to arrive, Tadasana, mountain pose. Reach your hands up overhead with that inhale breath, and then draw your hands to heart center as you exhale prayer. And again, reach up and overhead, your breath in. Hands to your heart, breath out. Reach up and overhead, big inhale, stretch, lengthen, and then fold forward, hinge at the hips, hands to the earth. Halfway lift, flat back, breath in. And then fingers down, step your right foot to the back of the mat. Low lunge pose, let the hands sweep up as the back knee grounds. Inhale. And then take your hands, palms plant, step back downward facing dog as you exhale. Slide forward to plank pose with your breath in. And then lower your knees, chest and chin, bend the elbows, breath out. Cobra pose, lift the chin, chest, shoulders as you inhale. And then soften the heart down as you exhale. Tuck your toes, kneeling plank, rise up, arms to straight. And then downward facing dog, 3 breaths here. Stretch your right leg up towards the sky with that next inhale. Step that foot forward between the hands. Exhale. Low lunge, reach your hands up and overhead, bicep to ears. Exhale, hands down, step forward and fold. Find a halfway lift. Reach your hands all the way up. Keep that flat back. And then exhale, fold right back down. Good. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Fingers down, step your left foot to the back of the mat, low lunge. Reach your hands up and overhead with the inhale breath. And then plant your hands down, frame that front foot, step back downward facing dog. Slide forward to plank pose, stack shoulders over wrists, and then lower knees, chest, and chin to the earth. Bhujangasana, Cobra, 1 breath, lift your head, chin, chest, and then exhale, soften, tuck your toes. Kneeling plank as you inhale to downward facing dog, exhale. Drag your left heel up towards the ceiling with the breath in, and then step that left foot forward, low lunge, breath out. Inhale, hands reach up overhead. Exhale, plant the hands down, step your back foot forward and fold. Find a halfway lift as you inhale, and then bow your heart down, exhale. Rise up to stand, reach your hands up and overhead. And then forward fold, Uttanasana, take it back down. Find a halfway lift, fingers plant to the earth, and then step both your feet back, plank pose. Find an inhale here, and then lower half or all the way as you exhale. Heart lifts, up dog or cobra to downward facing dog. Pull your hips up and back. Good. Take a soft bend in the knees here. Walk, step, or hop your feet forward. Find that halfway lift as you breathe in. And then forward fold, breath out. Rise to stand, reach up overhead. Hands to heart, ground your feet. Good. Take your feet as wide as your mat. Turn your toes out, Malasana Yogi Squat. Hands to prayer, inner thighs widen, elbows press. Nice long spine. Take a full breath in. And then place your hands down, lift your hips, turn your feet back forward, but stay low. Hands plant down to the floor on the inside of the feet. And then step your right foot to the back of the mat, landing in a lizard lunge. Keep your back knee lifted or lower as you need to. And then with your left hand, I want you to turn your fingers to face your back foot, palm stays on the earth. A little bit of a wrist stretch here. Good. Press your front heel down and back towards you. Hug the inner thighs. And then with your right palm rooted, lift your left hand up towards the ceiling now. A little bit of a twist. Hug your thighs, inner thighs even more, and then reach your heart up towards the ceiling. Good. Bring that left hand back down. Walk your hands to the right, wide-legged position. And then walk your hands forward. Think downward dog in your chest. Tent up onto your fingertips. And then make sure your hips stay over top of the legs. And by doing so, just to check, you can float your hands up. And if you can't float them up, then you're going to need to walk your hands a little bit further back. And bring your hands back underneath your shoulders. Walk yourself back to face the front of your mat. Plant your palms. And then step back to downward facing dog. Take your feet a little bit wider than your hips. And start to bend deeply into your knees. Send your belly to your thighs. And then with the inhale, slide forward, ripple to plank position. And then draw your knees back, bum to heels. Good. And then ripple forward, plank pose. As you inhale, bend your knees, bum back, exhale. Last one, plank pose, breath in. Bend the knees, bum back, breath out. Good. Plank pose as you inhale. Lower half or all the way, chaturanga. Lift your heart, shoulders back, breath comes in. Downward facing dog, breath goes out. Feet are hip width here. Press through the palms, soft through the elbows. Next inhale, reach that right leg to the sky. And exhale, step the right foot between your hands. Warrior 2 in your feet, cartwheel your arms up, rise. Left arm back, right arm forward. Press your feet down and towards each other, inner thighs light up here. And then draw your front knee towards your pinky toe. Find that external rotation in your right thigh. Keep that. Take your right elbow now to the inside of your right thigh. And then reach your left hand up, side angle variation. If it's too much with the elbow on the inside of the thigh, you can absolutely place it on top. Good, and then sink a little deeper into that front knee and spiral your heart up towards the ceiling. Feel the contact of elbow to inner thigh hugging to the elbow. And then gently rise back up, straighten through your right leg, reach your right hand up towards the sky, reverse, and then bend your right elbow, take your left hand on the top of the right elbow and draw that arm back, tricep stretch. Keep that front leg straight, release the arms, reach your right hand forward, 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 and down, triangle pose, Trikonasana. That bottom arm can rest on the shin, come to a block or a water bottle for support, or fingers to the earth. And then gentle bend through both of your knees. Can you lift your kneecaps? And then lengthen through both sides of the waist, especially that bottom one. Option here to take your bottom arm forward, reach towards the front of the mat, flip the palm up towards the ceiling, creating an L shape with your arms. Good. Gently release, both hands come down. Plant your left hand under the shoulder and then roll onto the knife edge of your back foot and walk your right foot to the right, modified side plank. That top knee will be bent, heel towards the body. And then gently bring both the hands back. You're just gonna step to the top of the mat with both of your feet. Find that halfway lift, inhale. And then fold forward, exhale. Gently bend into your knees. Take your hands now onto your thighs and then press your arms to straight Utkatasana chair pose variation. Wrap your shoulder blades back and then lengthen through the sides of your waist. Gently rise up, reach your hands overhead, straighten your legs. And then hands to prayer, ground your feet. Malasana, toes out, heels in, bend your knees. Let your bum sink down towards your heels, forearms can come to thighs or elbows towards the inner thighs. This time, option to reach your hands forward, using the strength of the legs to open the knees wider. Good. Gently lift yourself a little bit, turn your toes forward. Good. Take the forearms now to rest on the thighs, like you're in a squat position. Bring the hands down inside your feet, press your palms to the earth, sink your booty a little bit lower, and then step your left foot back for lizard lunge, other side. Right palm fingers are going to point to the back foot, so the elbow is pointing forward. A little bit of a wrist stretch here. And then can you scissor the inner thighs? And then hug your belly in. Press your left palm down and reach your right arm up to the ceiling. Keep your legs strong, soften your shoulders down your back, elongate through the neck. And then bring the hands down, walk your hands to the left, toes in, heels out, wide-legged fold, but you'll walk your hands forward, find down dog in your chest, tent up onto your fingertips, and then just lift the hands. You'll know if you've gone too far forward. And then think length through both sides of the waist here and pressing, grounding the heels down and in towards each other. Walk your hands back underneath you, back towards the front of the mat, and then step back, downward facing dog. Feet come a little wider, then your hips start to bend your knees, belly to the thighs. Inhale, ripple forward to plank pose. Exhale, knees bend, bum back. Inhale for that plank pose. Bend your knees, bum back. Crouching position, and then inhale, plank pose. Exhale, knees bend. Inhale, plank pose. Shoulders slightly forward, bend your elbows, lower half or all the way. Heart lifts, up dog or cobra, and then downward facing dog. Send your hips up and back. Soft bend through your knees here. Belly hugs in towards the spine. Next, inhale, float that left leg to the ceiling, and then gently step your left foot towards your left thumb. Find warrior two in your feet, cartwheel your arms to rise. Left hand forward, right arm back. And then let's soften into the elbows here. Flip your palms up towards the ceiling. Good, and then lengthen your tailbone down and feel the pubic bone lift up so the belly is engaged here. Keep that. Take your left elbow down towards your left inner thigh, and then press your elbow to your leg squeezes your elbow, and then reach your right arm up towards the ceiling, side angle variation. Gaze can be forward or up towards that top hand. And just keep that connection of elbow to thigh, thigh to elbow. And gently rise back up, straighten through your front leg, lift your left arm to the ceiling, bend your elbow, and then place right hand on top of the left elbow, tricep stretch, other side. Front leg stays straight, arms release, left hand reaches forward, forward and down, triangle pose, Trikonasana. That bottom arm can rest on the shin, a block, or fingers to the earth. And then soft bend through your knees here. Lift the kneecaps, engage your quads, and find more twist, heart to ceiling. If you did so on the other side, that bottom arm is going to reach towards the front of the mat, palm up towards the ceiling, creating that L shape with your arms. Breathe here. Good. Release. Bend into your front knee. Take your right palm, plant it down. Take that side plank variation. So roll onto the knife edge of your back foot. Left foot walks in line with the hips. And then reach that left arm up towards the ceiling. Breath in. And then place the hand down. Step both your feet to the front of the mat. Lengthen. Inhale. Forward fold. Exhale. Good. Chair pose, slide the hands onto your thighs, bend into your knees, and then from here, take your hands to prayer and lift your heels, come to the balls of your feet, hug your inner thighs. Keep your heels lifted, begin to straighten your legs. Reaching up and overhead, heels stay lifted, and then release the heels, hands down beside your hips, Tadasana. Full breath in, full breath out. Good. Chair pose, bend the knees, reach the hands up, biceps to ears this time. Bring the palms together, twist to the right, hook your left elbow outside your right thigh. Take your hands to straight, and then twist to the left, right elbow hooks. And then straighten back to center, and then twist again to the right and land yourself here, twisted chair pose. Sink your booty a little lower, the heart lifts, chest spirals towards the thumbs, and then take your gaze down to the floor. I want you to bend a little deeper into your knees and tip your weight slightly forward so that the left foot gets light, and then slow with control, step your left foot back and land it in a lunge, twisted variation, arms stay. And then slowly start to rise up, stay twisted to the right. Stack your shoulders over your hips and then open your arms, left arm forward, right arm behind you, creating a T shape with your arms. From here, you're gonna lift that left arm up, bend the arm, reach the right hand for the top of that elbow, triceps stretch, same as we did before. And then gently release, take your left hand down inside your front foot, side plank, option for the variation we did before, or stack your right leg on top. Square your hips towards the right, and then reach your top arm forward, bicep to ear, nice lengthen for the side body. Gently bring the right hand down, and then Vinyasa, lower half or all the way. Up dog or cobra as you inhale. Downward facing dog as you exhale. Take your right leg high to the sky as you breathe in. Step your right foot forward, find warrior one, back foot closer, back toes on a 45. And then reach your hands forward and slowly lift your heart up, stack shoulders over top of your hips. As much as you can here, square your hips forward and then bring your hands to prayer. Gently tip the weight forward, warrior three. Let that back heel lift up, all the weight into your standing leg. Soft bend in that knee. Feel your inner thighs light up, and then you're going to step that back foot even further back to a lunge. Reach your hands up as you inhale, and then sweep them down and back. Exhale. Good. Reach and sweep. Reach and sweep. Reach up and sweep. Reach up and sweep. Reach up, inhale. Plant your hands down, step back, three-legged dog, right heel lifts. Bend your knees, stack open the hip. Straighten that right leg and then right knee to right tricep, tap. Take it back, three-legged dog, inhale. Tap the right tricep, exhale. Take it back, long leg breath in. Tap your right tricep, breath out. And then take it back to plank pose as you inhale, knees down, child's pose, exhale. Bring your palms together, bend into your elbows. Find that tricep underarm stretch. Good, reach your hands back forward, palms pressed to the earth. And then gently bring yourself back to downward facing dog. Tuck your toes, lift your hips. And here you're just gonna bend your knees, look forward, walk, step, or hop to the front of the mat, find a halfway lift. And then a forward fold, let that go. Chair pose, bend your knees, sweep your hands up. And then either stay here, play with balance, lifting your heels, or we're gonna find crow pose. So your hands are gonna come down, palms plant on the earth, fingers face forward. And then you're gonna shift your weight forward so that your bum and your heels start to get light, and then press your knees into the back of your triceps. Squeeze your inner thighs. And then see if you can shift your weight forward a little more, creating a shelf with your elbows for your knees to rest, and gently lifting one foot or both off of the earth. Heels start to work towards the bum, feeling the belly engaged. And then gently fold yourself forward, land your feet, roll through your shoulders. Relax through the mouth. Option to take your hands, interlace them behind your back. Little stretch for the front of the shoulders here. And then release those hands back down. Find a halfway lift as you breathe in, and a forward fold, breath out. Rise to stand, Urdhva Hastasana, hands to the sky, and then hands to prayer, heart center. Land yourself in Tadasana here. Arms rest beside the hips, close the eyes, breathe. And then chair pose. Hands sweep, palms come together as you inhale, then twist to the left, exhale. Back to center, hands reach, breath in, twist to the right, breath out. Back to center, inhale, twist to the left and land, hook that right elbow outside that left leg, lower the bum down, square the knees here, and then lift through the chest. And take your gaze down over your front foot. Tip your weight a little forward so that it becomes easy to lift your right leg and gently step it back to a lunge position. Keep the twist in the upper body. Really pressing that elbow down. Start to lift your torso up, keeping the twist, and then open your arms wide. Right arm forward, left arm back, twisted warrior two. Take your front palm, reach it up, bend into the arm, catch the elbow with your left palm, tricep stretch. And then extend the arms, bring that right palm down inside your front foot, side plank Vashisthasana or a variation, same as you did on the other side. You can stack that left foot on top of the right. Reach that top arm up. And then bring the left hand down, Vinyasa, lower half or all the way. Lift the heart up, breath comes in. Downward facing dog, breath out. And take your left heel to the sky as you inhale. Step that left foot for warrior one as you exhale. Back toes on a 45, inner thighs hug, and then sweep your hands forward and rise up to stand. Square the hips, soften through the shoulders, catch your breath. Take your hands to prayer. Tip your weight forward. Let your heart lean towards the front of your mat so that your back leg gets super light. Warrior three, airplane pose. And then gently reach that back leg as far back as you can to hit that lunge pose. Hands will sweep up with an inhale and then sweep down and back. Lower the chest, exhale. Reach up, breath in. Sweep the hands, breath out. Reach up and sweep. Reach and sweep. Reach up and sweep. Reach up, inhale. And then bring the hands down to the earth, exhale. Three-legged dog, let the left leg kick up and back, breath in. Knee to your left tricep. Bend the knee, stack, open the hip first. Take that stretch, find that length. Now take the left leg straight. Knee to left tricep. Good. Take it back, inhale. Knee taps your left tricep. Use the core and then reach it back, inhale. Knee taps the left tricep. To plank, step your left foot beside your right. Knees down, bum back, child's pose. Palms can come together, bending into the arms, taking the thumbs to the nape of the neck. Breathe here. Good. Reach your hands back forward, plant your palms onto the earth. And then find your way back to downward facing dog. Lift your hips. Just gonna bend the knees here, look forward, hop, step, or walk. Find a halfway lift at the front of the mat. And then a forward fold, let it go, shake out the shoulders. Utkatasana, chair pose, bend your knees, sink your bum back and reach your hands up. Stay here or play with balance, lifting your heels. Stay or crow pose, second set. Palms come down to the earth. Bend into your knees, bend into your elbows, create a little shelf with your arms. Press your knees to the back of the triceps. Get as high up towards the armpits as you can, and then gently lean your weight forward to make your feet, your heels, and your bum a little lighter. Hug your inner thighs, and then breathe here. Gaze down and slightly forward. Good. Bring your feet back down. 3 options: forward fold, Tadasana, or Malasana yogi squat, whatever's going to help you reset the best. And then let's rise back up to stand here. Reach the hands up overhead. And then draw your hands to heart center and down beside your hips, Tadasana. from here, we'll all find Malasana Yogi squat, feet wide, toes out, heels in. Bend your knees, bring your hands towards the heart, elbows towards the inner thighs. Nice long spine here, a few breaths. And then gently bring your hands down and then bring your knees down onto the floor in front of you. Come back and sit on your heels. So rock pose, first variation for a thigh stretch. Keep your feet underneath you, knees together, walk your hands back. Or seal pose, you can come back forward, split the feet so that they sit on the outside edges of your hips and your sit bones come down in between the legs. And then once again, walk your hands back. You can come down onto your forearms all the way down onto the back. Ensure that your knees stay with a slight pressing towards the earth and a little bit of a hug towards each other. And then slowly bring yourself back up. Roll onto one hip and sweep your hands out in front of you and then grab a hold of a block. You're going to take it with you or a book, whatever you've got. Okay, with your lying down here, knees are bent, feet on the earth. So we're prepping towards a bridge posture. We're going to find a little bit of flow. So as you lift your hips, I want you to reach your hands up and overhead. The back of the hands will come and touch down to the floor behind you as your hips reach their peak, and then gently lower yourself back down. Okay, a few more times like that. Hips lift, arms reach, and then slowly lower down. So we're just giving a little bit of movement here for the shoulders, opening again through the front side of the body. Reach up, lift the hips, and slowly soften down. And then land your hips down here. You're going to grab onto your block and then press your hips up for a supported bridge. So you'll place that block on the lowest setting where that Lululemon logo sits. So between the low back and the glutes where they meet. Let the front body be really open here. And you're going to pull your right knee up in towards your chest and stretch your left leg long. If that feels good for you, the left knee can stay bent and that foot can stay on the floor. But if you can stretch it out, you're going to feel that in the front of the left hip. We've done a lot of compression through the front body, so this is a nice way to open it and counter that. Just gently switch sides from here, bringing that right foot down, the left knee hugs in, interlacing that shin, maybe straightening the bottom leg if that feels good. From here, gently bringing both knees in towards your chest and then straighten your legs up towards the ceiling, Viparita Karani. You may press the block a little more towards the end of your sit bones, the end of your tail, so that you're not having to activate too much through the belly and the legs, holding your legs in space. And just let your hands rest down on the floor and breathe here. It's a really nice inversion. We spend a lot of the time upward, vertical, even sitting, so everything kind of stagnates into the legs. This is a good way to flip the script and reverse that. Taking a happy baby variation with your legs here. So bend into your knees, take your knees wide out to the sides, and then reach your hands up, but don't catch your feet. Just let your wrists sort of hang limp and dangle with the arms straight. Gently bring your heels towards your bum. Wrap your hands around the knees. Give yourself a little squeeze and then release your feet down. Lift your hips, remove that block. Figure 4. Cross your left ankle over your right thigh. Bottom foot can stay, or you can hug your right knee in towards your chest and then flex through your left foot. So there's no creases in the ankle, and then energetically press your left knee away from your face. From here, you're going to place your right foot down and cross your left leg over your right, so your thighs hug. And then lift your hips to the left a few inches. Bring your legs crossed in towards your chest and let them fall towards the right for a spinal twist. If you'd like to take a different variation with your legs, knees stacked, feel free. Arms can come out into a cactus shape or a T. Your gaze can be up towards the ceiling or over that left shoulder. Try to close your eyes here and just feel, just breathe. And then gently uncross the legs, pull your knees back to center, realign your hips. And then we'll take the other side, right ankle crosses over the left thigh. Keep that foot grounded or hug the knee in towards your chest. Creaseless in your right ankle, and then press that knee away from your face. And then we'll bring that left foot to ground again, fully crossing the legs, inner thighs hug. You're going to press your hips over to the right a few inches this time, and then knees will hug in and fall to the left, spinal twist, other direction. We'll slowly uncross the legs, use your belly, pull your knees back to center, realign your hips with your shoulders. Hug your knees in towards your chest. Give yourself a little squeeze, maybe rock from side to side. Lengthen out the low back. And then from here, you'll stretch your legs out nice and long for Shavasana or seated meditation if that serves you better today. Wherever you are, let yourself land, soften, and then take a deep breath in through the nose. Open the mouth and exhale. And then just let yourself stay here in stillness, and I'll call you back when it's time. starting to find a little bit of movement now into your fingers and your toes. And maybe reaching overhead, finding a big stretch here. Pulling your knees into your chest, rolling onto your right side in a fetal posture. And then gently making your way up to sit. Let your hands rest gently on your thighs here for a few moments, just noticing. And then bring your hands together in front of your heart, prayer Anjali Mudra, and bow your chin towards your chest. Find a moment of gratitude for yourself, for your space, and for this practice. Thank you so much for being here with me today. Namaste.